Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Stasis Bone Totem, where I know I keep saying that things, things have gone from bad to worse, but it keeps being true, and more to the point, the degree to which it is true keeps increasing. It is getting truer, and it is getting truer faster. The good news is, I don't know how much worse they can get from here, so we might have sort of bottomed out. I also have to say, I'm not wild about this. The mob is adrift in a deep trance of celebratory dance, high on communal slaughter and ritualistic cannibalism. So, like, there is definitely, like, a shitty stereotype of the native, savage, cannibal thing that's being evoked on purpose here, right? And they're trying to, like, separate it from humanity enough to be like, well, listen, it's not like a representation of any actual peoples or anything, but I kind of feel like even the invocation of the stereotype is sort of shitty, and like, these things were people once, or, I mean, okay, depending on how you want to define people, you know, they were human. Well, I mean, they probably weren't human, actually, right? Because they wouldn't have survived being cast out to the bottom of the ocean if they were ever human. But, like, in any case, they're still, you know, a people of this place, and, like, I don't know, there's a thing that's being evoked here, but the developers or the people who made the story are trying to put enough distance between it and anything you would recognize as a human. Or basically, they're like, hey, these things are basically space aliens, right? And that's why they've designed them to physically resemble sort of like the cultural idea of the gray, but it still sucks. It's still bad, right? Like, I am still uncomfortable at, like, looking at it, and especially, like, it's getting more and more sort of like, they're damn near shouting unga bunga, and, you know, I don't know. I'm not wild about this. I wish the developers had chosen to go in a different direction with this story. Anyway. Rings of sacrificial altars serve as the main stages of celebration, an aphoretic light show of exuberant sacrifice. I mean, if they really wanted to get weird with it, think of how weird they could have gotten. It's, I don't know. I just wish they had been more imaginative and certainly in a different direction. So, can we walk along this? Okay, yeah, because I was going to say, like, walking along here seems counterproductive. A dozen pyres of masochistic jubilation thrum with drum beats and hoarse screams, the backlit shadows of flailing dancers birthing writhing monstrosities on the cavern walls. This ancient viaduct stands littered with fallen detritus and shattered flooring. The colossal twin carvings radiate an aura of divine authority, as if demanding subjugation and fanatical adherence. The giant's heads bow slightly, as if approving of the indulgent brutality and savagery. I mean, it's right there, performed en masse under their watching gaze. Yeah. Is this the only... Yeah, okay, or down there past all the dudes. Yep. Here we go. Huh. He's not carrying Charlie anymore, so this is fully inside his head.
My head.
Welcome, brother. Finally, we stand before each other. Men, mortals, sinners.
Men?
My appearance bothers you, brother? It is the most righteous of symbols, a vision of truth.
Why is this, am I dead?
Far from it, brother. You have much to do. You will be my messenger, my redemption.
I don't understand. How can...
Velez gives the last glimmers of my consciousness. Time is short, brother. Come closer.
Okay, well, it seems like we don't actually have a choice. Stakes have been hammered through the hands and feet of the man hanging on the cross. A radiating heat emanates from his emaciated body.
When it began, when I awoke, I thought this was hell. St. John of the Cross said all men have one. All men live it. Perhaps you know a little of what he spoke, brother.
More than a little.
Listen closely. Time is short. The ritual you observed outside has happened only one other time, when my ship first arrived. We were marooned here. We learned the truth of this place and its people. They were marooned too, much longer ago. Their sole focus was to return, to ascend back to the surface. We stopped it then. We gave everything. We died. All but me. All but me.
Wait,
I watched my men die. Watched them commit horrible sins. Their souls are damned, and the fault is mine. We saved so many above, but God will not see it that way. For God, there are no, how do you say, gray areas. My flock here is in their death throes. They would have died soon if not for the intrusion of your people. That too is my fault in its way.
what do you mean?
It was our distress signal that attracted the attention of your people. It is how we were found. Found too late to help my crew, but just in time to reinvigorate my flock. They are filled with passion now and purpose. They are not primitive. They understand your machines. And the giant one your people attached to the temple leads directly to the surface. They have reinterpreted their prophecy. They will not return, but their spirit will. The surface will be cleansed.
They want to let loose this contagion? They want to infect the world?
A grim vision of a barren world. They will punish the old gods that betrayed them.
Cain, this thing would kill everyone.
I have done my best to inspire them, to teach them the way. But they are no more immune to the deceiver's whispers than you or I.
Caliban said they believed there was a corruption here, spiritually. Something had been introduced that changed the culture's beliefs. It was you.
No. It was the Lord, brother. I was sent here to bring his word and his light. I only wish I had been more successful. I fear I was not up to the task. They have reverted to their baser instincts, in spite of all my effort. But hope is not lost, brother. Not for true believers like you and I.
I don't believe. Those ideas are gone now. God has been disproved.
You are a believer all the same, in different things surely, brother, but a believer. This is what matters. We must follow a higher path, and the cost is high. Were it not, how should we be redeemed?
What are you saying?
You took something from my ship. I can feel it even now. An instrument of unholy fire that we will make righteous.
The warhead. The nuke?
When there is only one path, brother, and that path must be holy.
Oof.
You and I can end this suffering now. For them, us, anyone left alive here.
Otherwise, the surface, it all dies.
Yes, a hard path, brother. But we will be redeemed by walking it.
Wait, I have to reach the lighthouse first. I have to save Charlie.
Are we bargaining then, brother?
The others. The ones outside. They're under your control.
Control. Influence is a better word. They accepted my faith at first, but they grow weary of it.
Make them leave. Clear a path for me, and I'll give you the warhead. Let me reach the lighthouse, before you detonate it. Let me save her.
I have saved so few here. The ideal of bringing just one to salvation is... Yes, brother. It shall be. But there will not be time enough for your salvation, I'm afraid.
I understand. I understand.
I sense we have much in common, brother. I wish we had more time.
Me too.
Give me the fire, brother, and I will use it.
You've seen so much. You are a stronger man than me.
The fire.
Okay, well... I mean, there's really no two ways about it, right? Don't want to be close to this thing when it goes off. Well...
May your soul find peace, brother.
And yours.
Okay, well... Here's a sphincter for you. A warm, pungent heat belches out from the gaping, sphincter-like growth, the interior slick thick with flowing fluids. Throngs of swirling bioluminescent fungi expel a wavering blue light, draping the dark interior in a dreamlike glow. Twisting spinal column poles hold the bone crosses aloft, built with unnerving fanatical focus to ensure perfect alignment and sturdy placement despite the crude materials at hand. A wispy mesh of sap and slime webs across the chamber, illuminated by ghostly light and wavering gently in shifting air currents. Boy, maybe we're a little closer to the end than I thought we were, though, because it sure seems like we're about to... But, like, would there have been a like, new chapter intro card and then 10 minutes of puzzles and then you're done? I don't know. Rows of pews, built from bones, scavenged from the dead and eaten, line the back of the holy chamber. You know, he seems very distraught about not having brought his faith to these people, but to be perfectly honest with you, Christianity, as it has traditionally been practiced by humans, they're doing a pretty okay job.
The captain, he kept his word.
The captain of the former Soviet craft, kept alive. Communication made possible by genetic strain sequences of the contaminant. 81% accuracy prediction.
He's so smart. Well, you better be right about the lighthouse. You better be right that I can save her.
Saving her means saving me. I am right. 100% accuracy prediction.
Right? They went ahead and built a church. They obeyed the symbols. And then when it came down to it, they decided to use a contagion to wipe out everyone who is not like them. Oily fumes of cooked meat, bloodied copper, and sordid sweat billow up the chamber from the ritual grounds. A haunting cold permeates the stairwell. Icy currents of air rebound against the walls and wash over you like the exhalations of malicious ghosts. And I mean, I do still have the grenades, so I assume, you know, something else is going to happen.
I don't care. Where am I putting her?
Any of the infusion pods along the wall.
Therefore, injecting stuff into the ocean?
91% accuracy prediction.
Hold on, Charlie. Hold on.
An esoteric orrery half buried in sodden ocean sand and mud, trapping the interlocked gears and concentric rings in place. Yeah, this is fancy stuff. The chamber's glow illuminates a portion of the surrounding aquatic wasteland, populated by sparse rocky outcrops and schools of tiny darting fish. Spots of light dance within the shimmering floor panels like fracturing sheets of ice. Warm to the touch, bright patterns ripple outwards as you tentatively prod. Well, I'm not prodding anything. I won't touch any of this shit, unless I absolutely have to. A half-dozen ancient cable-like tubes snake out from the dial, knitting into the chamber's substrate before re-emerging and entwining with other forgotten technology. And here the pod into which we will place her. Caliban wouldn't tell us to do this if it wasn't likely to work, because again, Caliban's survival is on the line here.
This isn't working. What's the problem?
The protection pods are disabled. My colleague they have not worked for some time.
You lied to me. You told me we could get her out, that we could save her.
I collated with a 71% accuracy prediction.
Fuck your percentages. She's going to die now, and so are you.
These pods are not the only method by which she could be deposited into the sea.
What are you talking about?
There is only one choice. You must decompress this edifice. Explosively. 95% accuracy prediction.
Well, that is certainly a thing we
Blow
can
it
do.
open, you mean?
Correct. The transparent walls are stronger than glass, but they are not unbreakable.
Oh, Kane. You were right, darling. All calm beneath.
Do what must be done. You are wasting time.
I know. I know. That recording that Charlie played before. Of hope. It's on her plug suit, isn't it?
This is irrelevant.
Play it.
This is irrelevant.
Not for me. Not for her. Play it.
Can you tell me your name? Try and remember your...
Hope.
That's wonderful. That's very good. Yes, your name is Hope.
Hope.
What's the last thing you remember, Hope? The very last thing. Can you tell me? Can you remember?
The beach. Moses.
What about the beach, Hope? What happened at the beach?
Moses... The waves grabbed him.
The waves grabbed Moses and pulled him out to sea, didn't they?
Yes.
And what did you do?
I jumped in after him. I tried to... Where's Mom and Dad? Where's Moses?
Do you miss your parents, Hope?
Where are they?
They're away right now, but they love you very much. They're going to come get you.
Moses too?
Moses too. Would you like that?
My dad lets me fish. He's teaching me how.
Oh, is that right? You like fishing with your dad?
Uh-huh.
You want to be a fisherman when you grow up?
No.
What do you want to be, Hope?
A captain.
A captain?
And an engineer. And someone really brave.
Wow, those are 3 really big things, aren't they? Where did those ideas come from? From people in your life? People important to you?
Yeah.
You can be all 3 of those things. Do you know that, Hope? You can be anything you want.
I know. I will.
You know what must be done. If they matter to you, you must act before it is too late. Or nothing of what you just heard will matter. 100% accuracy prediction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm not crying. Just Alright. A lazy current washes against the viewing portal, washing waves of silt and ocean detritus against the crystalline material. Well, this isn't exactly the most complicated puzzle of all time. Not sure it has enough powder left in it to do much damage to anyone, but...
Feels like forever since I just stopped moving. Since I was just still. You don't have to be sorry, Charlie. She's right. She can be anything she wants now. Thanks to you. I love you both. I love you both so.
Okay, well. Stuff with kids definitely hits me differently now than it used to. For reasons I'm not going to bother to get into here. So yeah, that actually probably could have been one episode. I really thought there was going to be a little bit more game than that left. Because we got a new chapter card and everything, right? But I guess it's over. And we don't get any idea. We might. We'll wait through the credits here, of course. We might get some idea of exactly what happens next. I mean, I was pretty confident the Yellow Leaf was going to come and pick her up because, you know, they need Caliban. But hard to say what might occur after, yeah? I guess all we can really do is hope. Get it? That's the name of the kid. I did feel like there's an awful lot of dialogue in the back third of the game that is like where Hope's name being Hope makes the lines just a little bit too on the nose. So that's a little, you know, whatever. It's fine. Yeah, overall, I liked that quite a bit. Like I said, so I'm not 100% in love with the some of the stuff that happened near the end, but like, first of all, I really liked most of it, and secondly, I was pretty impressed with how much of it there was, frankly. You sure are, buddy. Okay, we got a bunch of achievements for completing the game there. Huh, the text of the Hope achievement that popped up on my screen was Save Moses, which is not how I would describe. I mean, is it possible to... Are there branches in this? Is there another way for the ending to go? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, this probably could have been one episode. Oh well, shucks. That's going to be it for us for today and for Stasis Bone Totem. I really enjoyed this for the most part. There's some things here and there, but like overall, this was really rad, and I think we are for sure going to jump into the previous Stasis game, which I don't think is mostly underwater. I hope it's not so much underwater. So yeah, that's gonna be. I'm gonna remember to put up the outro thing here. That's gonna be it for us. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, the other Stasis game. That's where we're headed, and we'll see you then.